everybody and welcome to another monthly favourites. This is September 2016 and I just want to talk to you a little bit about some things that are bringing me extra special amounts of joy for the past month. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, I might as well bring it up first, is a matter of contention among certain people. It leaves people very divided. So why not just start off with something kind of controversial? And my first favourite for September is going to be, of course, the pumpkin spice latte. This leaves people quite divided. Some people love it, some people hate it. I happen to absolutely adore the pumpkin spice latte. It may just be in the UK that we are sadly lacking in anything pumpkin flavoured, and I absolutely adore pumpkins, but the pumpkin spice latte is one of my number one favourite beverages of all time. It is my rocket fuel for this time of year, and it may be the reason that I've managed to complete so many sweaters and cardigans recently because it's so delicious. But yes, a big thumbs up from me for the pumpkin spice latte, and if you don't like it, that's fine, but I happen to adore it. So delicious. But moving right along to something more yarny based, this is a slightly different favourite because obviously we are in autumn now. This is the time of Halloween and pumpkins and falling leaves and all of that good stuff, and I tend to be one of those people who, although I absolutely adore Christmas, I don't like to get too excited about it until much closer to the time. However, the yarn that is my particular favourite of this month I got super excited about and is actually a Christmas yarn. Now this particular yarn, I don't actually have a full skein of it, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to rectify that in the near future, and it is Gingerbread House by Jinx Yarns. This is one of my huge favourites for this month, and the reason that it's a favourite for this month is that on Lara of Jinx Yarns' most recent update, I know that she had some skeins of Gingerbread House available, which means that her Christmas colourway has started again. So I need to get in there and I need to order me some of this yarn. Lara in general does incredible self-striping colourways, so I'd really suggest that you check her out. If you haven't heard of her, you probably have because she is super well known and super talented, but yes, she has started dyeing Gingerbread House again, and I really need to get me a full skein of this. Mostly I think it's because last Christmas almost every podcaster seemed to be knitting up a pair of self-striping socks in this colourway. Kristen of Vool and Vine Yarns and Yarngasm, and Lara of the Fawn Knits and the Fawn and the Fox, and also Candice of Pin Feathers and Pearls all made the most beautiful socks in this. I've wanted a full skein for the longest possible time, and now she's finally dyeing it again. I am going to be keeping my eyes out, and fingers crossed I will have the big one to go with my little baby mini skein now. Next favourite is a particular favourite of mine pretty much all year round, but particularly when it starts getting cooler and autumn starts creeping in, and that is red lipstick. Those of you who watch my podcast on a regular basis will know that I'm pretty much always wearing some form of pinky red lipstick, but as soon as autumn comes round, I just find myself reaching for this every single day. And there are two particular lipsticks that this month I found myself particularly drawn towards, and they were actually both gifts from different podcasters. The first one is an Urban Decay red lipstick. It is from the Pulp Fiction series and it's called Mrs. Mia Wallace. It's just your simple red lipstick. It's the one that I'm actually wearing now. It's got quite a nice gloss finish to it. It's super slick to go on, comes in really nicely designed lipstick tube. I really do like Urban Decay's design of their packaging. And this was actually a gift from the amazing Twee of the Twisted Stitches podcast, so thank you, Twee. The other lipstick that I've been reaching for is actually not a lipstick, it's a lip stain, and that is this one. This is a red lip stain from Sephora. It's actually cream based. It's in the colourway 01, and this was a gift, an incredibly generous gift from Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk, and I absolutely love it. It applies like a dream. It's really buttery and creamy, really nice to wear, and it gives a matte finish, but it still leaves your lips feeling quite moisturised and not dry. So I really enjoyed this and this as two different kinds of lipstick for different moods on different days. Next up, we're going back to knitting again. It's pretty much always on my mind, knitting, let's be honest, but I couldn't have my September favourites without talking about this one particular pattern collection that was released this last month, and that is of course the autumn collection, the fall 16 collection of Brooklyn Tweed, which a lot of people have been getting very, very excited about on Instagram and on podcasts. In terms of which patterns from this collection I'm particularly excited about, like pretty much everybody I know, I am very, very excited about the Vika sweater. Vika. Not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but the beautiful, incredible cabled turtleneck sweater, which is unisex, entirely unisex, both for men and women. I am obsessed with this sweater. As you know, I'm a huge, huge cable addict, and the cables on this are utterly beautiful. I could see myself knitting one for myself, I could see myself knitting one for Emrys. It's a really gorgeous pattern, and it's gone straight into my favourites and my queue, and fingers crossed one day I will have one of these sweaters for my own. In terms of the other patterns in the collection, the one that really caught my eye is the Tamarack cardigan. Now this cardigan has different alterations and different design elements whether you're doing the male version or the female version. And a little controversially, I actually much prefer the men's pattern version of this cardigan. The ladies version has a kind of belt attachment added on, it has a flat collar around the edge, and it has a little bit more waist and hip shaping. The male version has a turned over collar, no shaping around the waist, so no tie like the female one, and they both have pockets. And to be honest, I think that the design of the male version, the men's version of this cardigan, is so much more pleasing than the ladies' version. I have been known to steal some of Emrys, my husband's, oversized cardigans when I'm hanging around the house, or I just want something to throw on if we're going out to take Rolly for a walk. So I'm very tempted just to knit myself the guy's version of this cardigan, because I just think I would wear it more. I think that with the tie around the waist, it looks nice, but it's a little bit fussy. The thing I like about this cardigan is it's kind of grandpa style. It's oversized, it's not fitted, and therefore to adapt it and make it more womanly by making it slightly more fitted and by adding the tie, it kind of besides the point. That's just my opinion, but I'm very much a fan of the guy's version of that one, and like I said, maybe I'll just knit it the guy's version. Nothing's stopping me. Next up in terms of favourites is TV. Now, it is the start of television season. There are a lot of things that Emrys and I have been watching that have recently restarted, and yes, we do watch a lot of television. It's quite obscene, but there are a couple of things in particular that I'm really, really happy that have restarted, and I just love them. The first one is slightly more guilty pleasure TV, and that's Once Upon a Time. I have issues with this program because when it's good, it's amazing, but when it's bad, it's really quite terrible. But I kind of get by on the fact that I enjoy it when it's good, so I put up with some of the gaping plot holes and the fact that these poor people in this show, it's pretty much like they're living in a soap opera. Nothing ever goes right for long. Something always turns up out of the blue, literally a lot of the time, to ruin things for the main characters, which I do find quite funny. Particular favourites in Once Upon a Time, I'm a huge fan of the Rumpelstiltskin and Beauty, Belle from Beauty and the Beast storyline. I've loved it from the first season, and I'm loving it in the new season as well. I'm a huge, huge Beauty and the Beast in all shapes and forms fan, so I very much enjoy it for that. The other TV programme that I have been adoring is of course American Horror Story. American Horror Story is one of my favourite series that has ever been on the television. I think it's incredibly clever. I love the subject matter, being a huge, huge horror film fan, and I just find it very refreshing that at the beginning of every season they literally start with a blank slate and can start again. The newest season, My Roanoke Nightmare, I am really, really enjoying it so far. It's incredibly different from any of the seasons that have come before it. It has some of my favourite actors in it. I love that Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it now, and genuinely I look forward to it every single week. It is on the top of my to watch list, so if you are a horror fan, it is quite extreme, so if you're not into horror you would probably do best to stay away, but if you enjoy horror in any shape or form, do give it a go, and obviously there are tons of past seasons to dip into and enjoy if you should so wish. My next favourite for September is actually a form of footwear, and to share that with you I actually have to show you a rather embarrassing pair of shoes which I own, because my next favourite is gonna be brogues. I love brogues. They are pretty much my favourite footwear of all time, and I live in these shoes 3/4 at least of the year. I am in these shoes, and my brogues are looking very sad and unloved. These shoes I have had for, I believe, maybe 3 or 4 years now, and they are falling apart. I don't want to show you too much in detail because they are really quite old now and quite sad, but my brogues, I love them. And I bought these, like I said, 3 or 4 years ago from Clarks. Mostly I buy my shoes from Clarks because my feet are quite large and also quite wide. So in a lot of high street shops, I tend to find that the shoes either don't kind of go up to the size that I need, and they're very narrow. So when I buy my shoes from Clarks, I know that they are going to fit, I know that they are going to be comfortable, I know that they're going to be of good quality, and also I know that I'm going to be able to try on a wide variety of styles in my size and not have a problem. The thing I love about the brogues from Clarks is that they found a style that they really like, and every season they just bring back that exact style but in different colours. So for example, in the spring and summer they had summery brogues, so in soft pastel colours and with cutouts and that type of thing that were beautiful. Didn't get any of those, but with the new autumn winter collection that has been released, they have brought back the brown, which I love, the same colour that I currently have now, but they have also brought out bottle green and gold brogues, and I love them. I want them in every colour. They are my favourite shoes in all the world, and considering the state of these ones that I've had for the time that I have, I think it's about time that I treated myself to a lovely new pair of brogues. But huge thumbs up for brogues, and they're just the coolest shoes ever. I have 2 more favourites to share with you guys, and the second to last is a little bit silly. It is a sweetie that has recently come back into my life, much to my utmost joy, and that is the Werther's Original. Honestly, me with my love of grandpa cardigans, brogues and Werther's Originals, I am basically an old man, but whatever. We do what we love, right? But Werther's Original sweets in these little gold wrappers are basically butter kind of toffee sweets. They're hard boiled sweets that taste like buttery, sugary amazingness. I had a real craving for these a couple of weeks ago, and we bought some in our food shop, and I now have a little dish filled with Werther's Originals sitting in the kitchen, which is incredibly dangerous because I love them so much and I want to eat them not all the time because they're quite rich, but I'm loving them, and they're the perfect sweet for this time of year. They remind me of snuggling up in front of the TV with a good movie, with a blanket and slippers, and oh, just warm coziness. So yes, Werther's Originals are right up there in the favourites, and oh, you should try them. If you haven't tried them, try them because they are amazing. My final favourite for this month is, again, slightly ridiculous, and you may have already seen this on Instagram if you follow me there, but I recently purchased a new phone case for my phone. I am so happy with it. I used to have a beautiful phone case on my phone that Emrys bought for me, but I broke it, so it was about time that I bought myself something new. And because I use my phone so much, which is a bit of a bad habit, but then who doesn't use their phone so much? I really wanted something nice that would make me smile every time I got my phone out to use it. And when I was looking for a phone case, I remembered the website Redbubble. And Redbubble is basically a website where you can order different prints on a huge variety of different products, and it's in collaboration with all of these indie artists, these incredible artists, and any kind of thing that they've designed, you can get it printed on notebooks, on t-shirts, on mugs, and on phone cases. So I was browsing through Redbubble and trying to find the perfect phone case for me, and I found something really special, and that is this little guy. Oh, isn't it ridiculous? So if you can see here, this print, in case you're interested, is called Playtime. It's done by the artist Emma Hampton Walsh, and it's these little kitties and they're all wearing various kinds of knitwear and they're playing with yarn, and I just couldn't resist it. It is perfect on so many levels. It's making me so happy. Every time I get my phone out, it makes me smile, and genuinely, I think this may be my favourite of September 2016. So you're never too old to have kittens and knitwear and yarn on your phone case. So that's everything for this month's monthly favourites, you guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please like the video if you've enjoyed what you've seen. Hit the subscribe button to be notified whenever I have new videos on this channel. I hope you've all had an amazing September. It is one of my favourite months of the year. But I will be back at the end of October with some more favourites for you. Bye for now! Rolly's always my top favourite of the month, aren't you, buddy? Say bye!